Davis Luster, and you are tuning into the Us Review, posted every Tuesday at 7 p.m. across most platforms. My handle being Ask Karla, mainly on YouTube, where I would love for you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Today is season 1, episode 2, and the topic I'm going to discuss is love times 2. And I know you're wondering, what in the heck is she talking about? I'll tell you in a couple minutes. However, before I begin and move forward, I would like to do a quick recap of last week's episode where I talked about soulmates and some of the characteristics of a soulmate that one should look for when you're looking for a mate. Keep in mind, all the things and the information on this show is merely an opinion, my opinion, and it's taken from research and data that I have gathered. I talked about the importance of understanding your expectations first. What are your likes and your dislikes? What do you like physically, mentally, socially, financially, and spiritually in a person? Those things, you need to know those things. I would like to invite you to go back and view last week's show if you didn't see it on soulmates. I think that you would really enjoy it, and it has a lot of information and data that I researched, and I'm just giving you the information. So I think that you would enjoy it. It's season 1, episode 1, and it's entitled Soulmates. However, I also talked about the reason why you needed to understand your likes, because you want to be able to communicate what you like. And if you know what you like, you won't be settling for less. You'll know what you like. You know, sometimes we settle for less because we're lonely. We don't want to do that. I also define what a soulmate is, what it actually is. A soulmate is merely one suited for another. Whatever those attributes are that meet your needs, though, that is what a soulmate is. Why? Because we are all different and we like different things. So a soulmate is your definition of what suits you. So once again, I invite you to go back, take a look at it. Season 1, episode 1, at my YouTube page, Ask Karla, and it's also on my Facebook page. So moving forward today, let's talk about a subject that is kind of taboo. However, many people are, kind of shy away from this particular topic, but I found it very interesting. Love times 2. What do I mean by that? Can you love 2 people? Chapter 2 of The Woman Tells is entitled Caught Off Guard. This chapter is about the wife and how she gets involved with another guy. This happens to be something she said that she was never going to do. However, but after going through, trials and tribulations with her husband, a rough situation, she found herself on the other side of those words. Okay? She found herself on the other side of those words. So with that being said, today's title, Love Times 2, Can We Actually Love 2 People? I'm going to stop here and read a passage from chapter 2. And this is something I'll be doing on a weekly basis. The chapters that I'm discussing, I'll read you a snippet of, some of the information that's in here. So if you don't have this, once again, let me show it to you. It's The Woman Tales. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and also at my website, askkarladl.com. So where's my page? I kind of lost here we go, here. So here we go. Let's imagine that life at home had become a challenge and filled with boredom, leaving room for what's to come. My husband, as mentioned in chapter 1, last week's stuff, was out most nights entertaining the other woman. I was left to my own thoughts, work, and self-motivation. So much until I was asking myself, why should I be the one responsible for making this relationship work? All he did was come home whenever, take over the remote. I know a lot of people probably laugh at that. Ask what was for dinner and crash. He never asked to take me out to dinner anymore or wanted to do anything fun. It was all about what he wanted. People, once again, if you are in a relationship, it is not one-sided. It is a two-way street. You guys, I talked about last week, and I keep sending you back to my last week because that was the kickoff I talked about the relationship color palette that I have, and inside of there, it has a schedule where you can schedule out a date night or schedule out your date nights. We get busy, we're doing everything up under the sun and neglect the relationship. However, it's a two-way street and you have to work at it. However, getting back to this, it was all about what he wanted. Like I said, he was not out with the boys. He was not out with the boys, so he said. He was watching sports, very unattentive, and being very unattentive to me. I didn't feel it necessary to put anything extra into how I looked because he didn't see it anyway. Wow. All the shit that I bought when at the mall was basically hanging in my closet with tags because she feels that he wasn't paying her any attention. Not good in a relationship. Not good. And it's just not the woman feeling like she's not getting attention. Men need attention as well. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Once again, I said that she found herself on the other side of those words because chapter 2 we're talking about, it gets into, I didn't read that part, but it gets into her meeting this other guy. And through meeting the other guy, here's what happened. I started to think about, the whole piece of chapter 2 and how she was able to be taken off her kilter. And she was taken off her kilter because she was saying a lot of things, that I won't do this, I won't do that. However, there is, when I think about it, is there a point? Let me ask this question. Is there a point in an unsuspected situation that could possibly arise that would break you down and make you do something that you said that you would never do? However, I took the time to research that term, never say never. I learned, with researching it, once again, I found something on that. With researching it, I found that this expression actually originated and was first recorded in Charles Dickens' novel called The Pickwick Papers. And if those of you who do not know who Charles Dickens is, he is actually an author as well. He was back in the 1800s or whatever else, and many of you may know him from his novel A Tale of Two Cities. You may have needed to read it in high school or whatever. I think that's where I read it at. But the novel that he actually first this expression never say never originated from was the Pickwick Papers back in 1837. So that's actually been, that expression has been around forever. It's super duper old. But back to the chapter and kind of tying this in and bringing this home, chapter 2, Caught Off Guard, I begin to tell the story how dissatisfied the wife was in the relationship because the husband was out gallivanting and doing, only God knows what with his mistress, being very inattentive to his wife. This left her, on the other hand, vulnerable and susceptible to another guy showing her attention, and she wound up falling in love. So that brings me all the way back to today's topic. Love times 2. Can we love 2 people? Love times 2. Can we love 2 people? I have some questions. My questions that I'm going to throw out to you, which I'll do that to help get your thoughts going or whatever, so that you can inform your own opinion. Can you get that caught off guard with something unexpectedly happening to you that comes your way that knocks you off your kilter? And with that, the person, I guess, on the receiving end, what is your breaking point for, your mate doing something that was just kind of like taboo in your world? They crossed that line. What is your breaking point that would make you say, this is unforgivable? And they did something they said they wouldn't do, However, let me say this. In this case, back to the wife, she became entangled with this other guy, committing all the things that she said that she would not do. Now, I gotta say that I know at some point she loved her husband, but somewhere along the lines, they lost their way, they lost the passion for the relationship, and they stopped doing things that they should have been doing. Going back to my old statement that I keep saying, and I've said it on interviews and everything, she stopped watering her plant. However, when we're looking at this situation, I did mention that in chapter 1, the husband was doing some stuff. So I'm not going to say that she just stopped watering her plant. It looked like he didn't pay his water bill at all as well. So two-way street. I said it's not a one-sided relationship. Everyone brings something to the party, and they happen to be bringing some other people to the party. Love times two. Can you actually love two people? Let me ask you this. Okay, so if she didn't fall out of love with her husband, can you love two people? Keep throwing that out. Maybe, maybe not. If so, and she's loving both of them, was it because one was meeting one need and the other one was meeting another need, and that she was loving both of them? They both, she loved them for two different reasons. Something to think about, maybe. Maybe they both, once again, met a different need. Something to think about. I'm not saying that it's, keep in mind, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. On the show, I will talk about things, and I will throw questions out at you so that you can think about them and think about what is your answer, what is your stance, what is your determination on what you think is right and wrong. The Us review is, I try to have a balance, whereas I try to speak on both sides of the coin. If it's like this, then maybe it's this. If it's like that, maybe it's that. You'll find me, talking like that in a lot of my novels. I'll, talk about, both situations. It's not just that the woman is being done wrong or the man is being done wrong. Is that everyone brings something to the party and everyone is contributing to the outcome. So keep that in mind. And let me just speak a little bit further on that. I try to, another thing that I want to throw out there, I try to speak about things logically and realistically. And hopefully some of the information that I throw out at you on the Us review will help you to find a solution. Think about a solution, because everything has a cause and effect. Cause, effect. However, you got to have a solution in order for you to be able to mend and keep your relationship. And discussing these things on here may very well save the relationship because you're doing things to work at it. Can you love two people? Love times two. I've heard, let me move into this. I did, research, talk to people, survey people to find out what were your thoughts about that? What do you think about that? And of course, I got answers on both sides of the coin, yes and no. I heard, let me speak about the yes first. The yes was, it's possible if you're probably in a non-traditional type relationship. When I think of non-traditional, it brings to mind the series I used to watch, Big Love, and many of you may have watched that series, Big Love. Also, one of the movies that was out a long time ago, I watched the old movie and then they did a remake, Superfly. Now, I know everyone saw Superfly, and it was basically, this newer one was a kind of like, the three of them were a family, a team, and a couple, the three of them, and they seem to be happy and living harmoniously. I don't think the first make of it was kind of written like that, but the second one was like that. So in this case, I guess a yes, that you can love two people is relevant, it is possible. Then I think if you're married, it's called polygamy or whatever, polyamorous or something like that, polygamy. However, the other side of the coin of that is people thinking that it's taboo, that's no. When I talking to people in my upbringing was of the no. Then I've heard through speaking with people, mostly the information that I gathered was people that followed the religious teachings, upbringings, and God-fearing, the traditional way that was taught in the homes and was projected, that you should live the American way of living, the white picket fence, the dog, mom is the homemaker, and dad is actually the provider. But as we move forward and we look at society today and how, just some of the relationship with, we talk about the millennials, Gen Z, whatever, just how they're non-traditional. And most of them, as we know it in the world today, those people are rewriting, to them, nothing is written in stone. People are rewriting their own traditions and making up their own traditions and writing how they want their relationship to be. You see all different kind of relationships and family makeups and bills and whatever else. I guess, to look at it balanced, or to look at it just, not being biased. It's whatever works for you. Like I went back to the soulmate, whatever those attributes are that you like, that's what your soulmate is, because Webster could list, out 10 things. And if those 10 things don't work for you, that's not your soulmate, because you're not feeling good. You're not feeling happy. It's not moving you, and it does not work for you. So once again, there's always two sides. So think about it logically, realistically. I took the liberty, and this is moving towards the end of what I'm going to talk about today. I took the liberty to Google the reasons why you should never say never. I found out where the term came from, never say never. It was from the Charles Dickens writings back in the 1800s. The reason why that you should never say never is basically, I found information that you could limit yourself with opportunities. You could, be speaking from a place of insecurity in some situation. And last but not least, you could definitely just not be open-minded to, what could be possibly a great opportunity for you. So these were some of the things that it was saying, that never say never, because you may have to come back to bite your words. And and if you do it, and you just told a whole bunch of people that, I'm never going to do this, or I'm never going to do that, I'm never going to take him or her back, and you wound up back with them, you kind of looking a little, talking, it's a little bit contradictory. Last but not least, if you are, in that non-traditional type of thing, or if you're in a regular type of situation in your relationship, we're speaking on love times two. Can you love two people? I would just have to say, this is my opinion, that whatever situation that you're in, is that all parties are in agreement with it, and people are not walking blindly through a relationship not knowing what's going on around them, and they're just being led astray or led whatever else. And if something's not working, it's just not working. Like the characters, I like to go back to my novels, the way I write them. It was basically, the main characters were four main characters. You have the husband and wife, the mistress, and the paramour. And kind of like the situations that's going on is that they're kind of just falling into things, and things are happening, and they're having to make decisions. You never want to be making a rash decision on something that's going to affect your life. However, you are here today. This is the Us Review. I thank you for tuning in. I'll have topics like this every week. I invite you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if there's a topic you'd like for me to talk about, please, text me, message me, whatever, DM me, and I'll try to do that. However, once again, you've tuned into the Us Review. I am Karla Davis Luster. Please follow me across all platforms at Ask Karla, and my website is askkarladl.com. Thank you for tuning in. Today's subject was love times two, and you love two people. The Us Review. Take care. Bye-bye.